found that sometimes that the rewards effectiveness can decline over time. Can you speak a little bit about that?
Yeah, so my most recent research didn't look at that, but I have looked at that in earlier research. So I think what you're talking about is habituation, which basically means that rewards lose their value over time, because just like you become full after eating food, you basically become full of reward, basically. There's a lot of research, even on animals, that says that if you oversensitize someone to a certain reward, then it loses their value because it's not novel, it's not unexpected, it's just common. And there is good research showing that these kind of sensory rewards or non-primary rewards that you see in gamification or in video games or apps of that nature do habituate very quickly. So if you use those kind of rewards over and over again, people become bored of them very quickly. But you also have very quick dishabituation. So if you become bored of those rewards, but you let it go for a while, then it comes back much more quickly than if you become bored of, say, food or water or any of those more kind of primary reinforcers. So that's good to know when you're thinking about it, because it's much easier, it's much more important to include novelty and reduce oversaturation in these instances. So novelty being highly important means that if you're giving someone a reward for something, you have to vary the type of reward and when it's shown, to make sure that there's as much kind of surprise as possible. But also it means that you don't want someone to play your game or your mobile game for 10 hours straight, because they will be so habituated by any rewards you can give them that they are satiated in the sense and then don't want to come back ever. They're like, okay, I'm bored of this, and uninstall the app. Whereas if you can promote what's called snacking behaviors, which is some research that colleagues have done, people are much more likely to stay with the app or with the mobile game for longer. So it's a sort of balance you have to strike. Do I want to give as much engagement and fun or stick the user to want to stay in the app for as long as possible, or in one session and then possibly lose them in the future? Or do I want them to stay with the app long term? And I think that's what habituation kind of tells us.